Alexander Downer has come out as a Liberal politician who would like to see recognition of Aboriginal people in the Constitution. Do you think it should happen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I even said it in my maiden speech. I absolutely think it's a gaping hole in our Constitution, and I also do appreciate some of the commentary saying that we must act in haste, but make sure we take the Australian people with us. I think it's important for Aboriginal people for them to be recognised, and I absolutely support recognition of Aboriginal people in the Constitution.
Now, something about your area that I've got to say, at first glance, well, I would not have thought it to be the case, but the Aboriginal population in and around Penrith, Lindsay, it's quite significant.
Well, the Aboriginal population of Western Sydney, it's actually, in fact, the largest Aboriginal population in the country.
Right.
So, and what we do see within Western Sydney, we see a lot of challenge that the Aboriginal people still have, and there's a lot of social welfare issues. One of my schools, Chifley College, Dunheved campus, I think it's 29% of the kids there are Aboriginal, and really, we need to instill pride in these kids. I mean, a lot of them don't understand how unique and how special to be Aboriginal is, and that history. I mean, in my area of Lindsay, you've got me on my.
Yeah, I know you're going to start.
But in my electorate of Lindsay, it's a very, very special area because it is a gateway from the Blue Mountains into the plain of Western Sydney. The Nepean River, it's where the salt water meets the fresh water. And so it was a key trading and farming plain where Aboriginal people actually did a lot of those things. And the Nepean Lakes took out 250,000 Aboriginal artefacts by quarrying the lakes there. So there's a lot of work we need to do to rebuild this, what we have done in the last 200 years to Aboriginal people.
Right, but Chris, often the argument that has been put by plenty is to say, do you change the Constitution to effectively have a definition of two types of Australians here, despite the importance, despite the significance, despite the connection to communities past and present? Do you think we need to do it?
Look, if the proposed change did that, then it wouldn't get up and it would be a retrograde step. This is where AD and a lot of others are getting ahead of themselves, saying vote yes, because we don't know what the question is yet. And in my view, the recommendations of the report go too far. I think if there is a recognition of Indigenous Australians in the preamble, and then we get rid of some of the redundant race provisions in the Constitution, that will be fine. But all the indications are, I think, that people are going to overreach and try and do more and put some separate provisions recognising special connections to the land and the waters in the body of the Constitution. I think that would be dangerous. I think it could create legal problems, and I think it would guarantee that the proposition didn't get up.
All right. Now, Nicholas, I'll let you have the last say on this, and then I want to ask you all about one thing you like about Canberra. We'll get to that. There's a reason for that, by the way. But, Nicholas, should it be changed, and what is the material benefit to the people that, in part, Fiona was talking about?
Look, yeah, I definitely do think it should be changed. I think it would be a great step forward for Australia. I think in many ways it would be symbolic, but I think symbols are really important. Like, I don't think we should discount that. I think Chris is. I think Chris and I would probably have a different view on how comprehensive that reference should be. I probably would favour a more ambitious set of changes to what he favours. But I do certainly agree with Chris that this debate has got quite a way to go, and it does get complicated when you get into what the actual sets of words are. We should remember the 43rd Parliament did look at this, and eventually it was deferred because the debate started to get a bit difficult, and everyone thought, this is a sensitive area, let's defer it till everyone's a bit more ready. So look, I hope that we can get it up in this Parliament, I really do.
All right, the OECD, in part, has concluded that on several separate scores that the ACT is 10 out of 10 when it comes to living, a perfect place to be. So apparently we're supposed to believe that if you have the choice of living in Canberra or New York, you're going to choose the great city of Canberra. Now, all of you at one point in your life have spent a little bit of time here, transitory, here for jobs, all the rest of it. So, Chris, I'll simply ask you this. Where's your favourite joint in Canberra? Doesn't matter, coffee shop, diner, hotel, whatever. What's your favourite joint in this town?
My favourite joint in Canberra is not there anymore. Porsche's Diner. It's there, but it's not run by Porsche anymore. But Porsche's restaurant at Kingston Shops was brilliant. Love the Speaker's Bar at the Hyatt too. You don't have to stay at the Hyatt. Pop in the Speaker's Bar, open fire glass of red. Beautiful.
Yeah, but you used to be able to smoke cigars. You can't smoke them there.
Well, they shut. They did. We used to smoke cigars in there, but it's evil now. Plus, apparently only multi-millionaires do it and people who want to crush the poor.
Correct. All right, Fiona, your favourite joint in this place?
Well, I actually like the Urban Pantry for a coffee in the morning. So, and the reason I like them is because the Urban Pantry opens at 6 a.m.
And you're now going to get free coffee for them for the next week.
No, the fact that they open at 6 a.m. and it's good coffee. But my favourite thing to do in Canberra is actually like after I've got my coffee to then do the run around the lake. So. Yeah, I actually like being outside. So.
I think the best chance I've got of doing that is on little rented pedal cars, maybe. What an image for everyone. Nicholas Reese, your favourite joint in this town, the 10 out of 10, the OECD, the best place in the world to live, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Canberra is it's the original FIFO city. Everyone flies in and flies out at the end of the week.
A mining town.
It is like a mining town in some respects. My favourite place would have to be Silo in Kingston, where they do a great latte. I was almost back in my inner urban Melbourne existence when I had my coffee from Silo. And I've also got to agree with Chris. I think the bar at the Hyatt, it just got so much history to it. So many great deals and politicians and whatever has happened in that place. It's an amazing building. Another favourite.
While Nicholas and I are agreeing, Paul, you must go to Silo and bring your lovely wife home an almond croissant from there. It'll win you so many brownie points.
All right, thank you. It's only a 2.5-hour drive, but that's all right. I'll bring it home for her tomorrow. Now, mine, however, is a Broad Burger, which is a fantastic burger joint that's here. And hotel-wise, there's a new fancy joint. It's even a little bit lefty in Corduroy, but it's great. Beautifully designed, a place called Hotel, which is part of New Acton. All right, guys, winners or losers of the week. I've got less than a minute. Nicholas Reese, winner or loser, who is it?
Well, I've got mixed feelings on this one, but I have to say Clive Palmer. I mean, he's done the press conference of the 44th Parliament so far.
All right, Chris Kenny, winner or loser? Keep it nice and short for me, mate.
It has to be Al Gore. Whatever credibility he had left is gone now.
All right, for you, Fiona Scott, winner or loser?
I'm going to go for a loser in the way of I thought what happened with Peter Grester this week was incredibly sad and tragic. So I think for me that was the big thing this week.
Great point. All the best to you so much. You can follow me on Twitter over the weekend, which is at PM On Air. I mean, Instagram as well. Lots of photos from my time here in Canberra. Why not give that a plug as well? That's at PM Off Air. One and all, thank you very much. We'll see you again next week for another great edition of... Everyone wave. It's Brady Bunch time. Quick, wave. Ta-da.